Chairman, after our last hearing with the SEC Chair, I think it was made clear that at least under the previous management, the SEC did have the authority under the Consolidated Supervised Entities Program to do something about the dangerous levels of leverage at Lehman Brothers. Unfortunately, they chose not to exercise that authority. The situation was not dissimilar to that of AIG. We know we had the former director of the Office of Thrift Supervision who testified before the committee that OTS did have the authority to properly regulate AIG, but again, they chose not to do it. In case after case, regulators had the authority to prevent behavior that contributed significantly to our economic debacle, whether it was a matter of ignorance, negligence, incompetence, or frankly simply making a mistake, a very costly mistake. We don't know, and so many of us find it somewhat ironic that now the financial regulatory bill that is awaiting the signature of the President in many respects rewards regulators who missed and contributed to the financial crisis with yet even more regulatory authority and does little or nothing about ignorance, negligence, incompetence, and simple mistakes. Now, clearly the SEC will be getting significant new authority in addition to their tremendous workload. I've heard some estimates of 95 new rulemaking, some say 123, 32 studies, 19 additional actions and reviews. Obviously, all this new authority and responsibility is against the backdrop of the Lehman Brothers failure, the Madoff Ponzi scheme, and the SEC pornography scandal that revealed senior SEC officers clearly had more time to view pornography than they did to police security fraud. I hope that the SEC is capable of improving its track record while also taking on these new responsibilities. Clearly, as we look around in our economy, one of the greatest challenges we have to job creation is frankly not a lack of capital, it is a lack of confidence. And I am curious, with all this new regulatory authority that will be granted to the SEC, how will the SEC handle the levels of uncertainty that have been created by this new law? Already the Federal Reserve reports that public companies are sitting on almost $2 trillion of cash and liquid securities. We need to get that money out of the stands onto the playing field, and the actions of the SEC will bear greatly upon that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.